So,
I'm ready.
hello, Jean, Christophe. How are you?
Hi, it's great. I'm so happy to be here, and particularly to be with you, Dan Andre. Even if your questions are always very, very precise and details, and from time to time it's a challenge for me to answer, but I appreciate this moment.
I as well, because you have very technical watches and you have very interesting details that are for some people very interesting, for some people unknown, and I think it deserves to be explored, the entire technical side of the watches, because you have such a wonderful brand and you are working on so many aspects, not like just bringing a watch to the market, but bring some meaning behind the watch, and that is something that I really love and enjoy by Ulysse Nardin. Is the watches are fabulous. The story behind this heartwarming. So this is why I really love to come and meet with you and see the watches every time. This year you have something that I discovered first through the press release and then with the meeting with you. You have such an amazing set of achievements for Ulysse Nardin, but also from my perspective, I think also for the industry. So you have the new Diver Air, which is very light,
52 grams.
52 grams. That's an amazing achievement. But as we both know, it's not just the lightness of the watch. You have a lot of details that hides. So you have a lot of materials that are. Can you tell me more about the materials you hide in this watch in plain sight?
Well, if I had to say in one word, for me, what is the Diver Air? I would say it's a little bit. I mean, it can be pretentious to say it like that, but in the meantime, it's the right image in my view. It's a little bit our iPhone 16. What I mean by that is that you have 16 layers behind. You know what I mean? It's full of many things. And so your first question was related to materials. And if we take this chapter, because in fact you have several inside that piece, we have chosen the materials that are generally used in the aerospace industry or the racing fields, for example. I mean by that titanium, carbon fiber, because they are proposing an optimized ratio between the constraints of lightness on one side and robustness on the other. And what is interesting with this timepiece is that most of the watch is made with that materials, and particularly here, the caliber itself, the main plate, the bridges are all made in titanium. So,
and what you maybe not forgot, but was to say later, every material that you use on this watch is recycled and upcycled from various industries.
Yes.
So what I appreciate as someone coming from automotive field, I appreciated the construction that you have behind the watch.
Yes.
You have a block, which is the case, in which you put a very light mechanism.
Yes.
Come a little bit later around. And I have the sides that you attached.
Yes.
Can you please tell me more about the sides, because it's not just like the carbon that you have on the vessel, you have a different material inside.
Yes. Well, I took the watch back. For all these materials, what we have tried to do is to find, you have mentioned the upcycling aspect, is to find the best experts in that field. And we are a Swiss watch luxury brand. We have many suppliers that are local suppliers, but they are like us, are part of a traditional industry, if I may say. So we have been identifying, and it took us several years, startups, tech companies, most of the time based outside of Switzerland, that were used to high-tech materials like carbon fibers and titanium, and that were trying to find processes and solutions in order to upcycle them. And when you think about it, it's quite logical. Most of them, we found them in France or in Germany, because in fact, you have some aerospace industries in these markets. And for that reason, many often these people, they come from Airbus or Airbus suppliers, for example, and then they try to invent solutions. You know what I mean? So, for example, you took as an example the side part of the case. So this side part is, when you look at it, it's plain black
Can be any
material. It's difficult to say what is it, but it's not special in terms of look. In fact, this piece is a combination of two upcycled materials. There is on one side a simple polyamide that is coming from recycled fishing nets from the ocean.
From Philafab.
Exactly. So the startup is called Philefab, and it's based in the French Brittany. They collect fishing nets, and then they reprocess it. They create a compound, and then you can use it in order to produce, for example, furniture or specific components.
Yeah.
And so this is one of the aspects of it.
And I'll interrupt you
Okay.
a bit here, because
Yes, definitely.
Philafab is very important, because it's not just part of the sides of the case, it's also the strap made from the same base material
So,
like my Philafab.
so we use the Philefab material for some Velcro straps that we have in our offer, but we did not use them for that specific
Not
one.
for this specific
No,
one. Okay.
because that one, and we will come to that, is 6 drafts.
It's
So
heavier.
exactly, it was too heavy for the piece, because when I say too heavy,
In this situation.
you need to save every gram possible, and that one is elastic. It is elastic because we don't want to have a buckle system, a closure system, so it should be, interchangeable and adjustable easily. And as it is elastic, we still had to keep that contrast. So we did not produce the strap with the Philefab material. We use it only for the side case, but we combine it because this 10 piece is shock resistant at 5,000 Gs. So we are combining this lightness property of the polyamide material with some upcycled fibers that are coming from CDK technology, which is a shipyard that is producing racing boats for sailing, IMOCA boats. And these carbon fibers, they pass through a complex process. They go to another startup that is called Extractive, that is based in the south of France. Extractive is going to dismantle the composite material and to give a second life to the fiber itself. And this carbon fiber will be sent to Lavoisier Composite, another startup that will combine these carbon fibers with the fishing nets compound coming from Philefab. And then we will combine it. We will have an injection process at with another partner, Maître Frère, in order to produce the side parts. So you see the process is quite complex, but in the meantime, it's a real adventure, and it pushes the limits, the boundaries in terms of possibilities, and it shows that you can not only do a luxury product, but also a high performance product by upcycling materials. And this is the fun part of that game.
So you don't have only fantastic materials on the outside of the watch. You have a very interesting inside of the watch.
Yes.
It's to say that it's light in this situation, it's too less said, because you still have what is very well known. I mean, Ulysse Nardin, you have the big construction.
Yes. Yes.
But you have updated, and you have something that you called triangular bridge. If I remember well.
Yes, correct.
This for me, it's always brings back the automotive side.
Yes.
Yes. For robustness, it was really improved the not quite triangular, but you have a bar that you put to make a more stiff and more robust the tower chassis, and this is something similar that you don't here.
It's exactly that. It's as you stated. Can I show this?
Yes, please.
Explain maybe more in detail, but it's exactly what you said. This is the, let's say, it's a 3D printing of the caliber. We have removed all the wheels. So you just have the main plate here that is 100% open worked, and the bridges. And as you mentioned, you have a triangular architecture in order to reinforce the behavior of the bridges. In fact, we have been inspired by the principle of a chassis. It's a 3D structure, but totally minimalist. And in this chassis, so all of this structure is made of 90% titanium. And this chassis is composed of several bridges, but there is a keystone in the structure. And this bridges is called the lower gear bridge. And it's coming from here to there and there. It's a one-piece bridge. And it is the keystone for all the caliber, in fact. And of course, then we have been applying recipes that were used in particularly the Formula One field. We have hollowed out each and every component. So you can see here, the bridges have been hollowed out. The main plate, we have removed all the unnecessary, let's say, material when it was possible.
You know what you
yes.
made a mistake, because I know you at some point you showed the picture with the Eiffel Tower because of the construction. Because it's very used, especially in architecture.
Yes.
But what I remember afterwards, it was that I saw this type of construction, for instance, by the Zeppelins, where they used to be very light. So they discovered that this triangular can bring a lot of robustness.
I remember that, so I have seen that. And it's a very basic principle.
Yes,
but it works very well. And in fact, this product, I mean, we did not try to reinvent the wheel with this product. What we wanted is really to reach an objective that is quantifiable, that you can measure. Exactly. So in that case, you apply the basic recipes like simplification and choice of the materials.
And of course, being Ulysse Nardin, we have silicon escapement that adds robustness, lightness, carefree maintenance, almost anti-magnetic. Yes, I have a lot of. What other details helped you to lose weight in this way?
So for the escapement, and you mentioned it, I mean, silicon components are lighter than traditional alloy, and they are more durable. And we have applied also one innovation that I would like to mention on the escapement, is that our escapement is upcycled from the production waste, which is something new. And we always try to improve our processes. So, in fact, you have mentioned, there is an innovation related to the escapement. There is an innovation related to the level of upcycling for the titanium. No, normally a titanium is upcycled at 35%. You already had some brands presenting 80-85% recycled titanium. Ours is 90%. So we use as a sourcing the biomedical industry in Switzerland. So we collect locally. It is collected. It's a titanium grade 5 LE quality. And in order to preserve the same quality standard in terms of behavior for the material, it is reprocessed in a foundry that is based in Italy that is called T-Fast, and that is producing alloy for the aerospace and the Formula One field again. So there is some, let's say, the innovation that we put in terms of materials. It's not only related to the decorative parts, it's also decorative related to parts that are functional inside the watch. And you have even very tiny details, crazy details, you know, for example, I did not mention that, I never speak about it, but this small stopper, that is, I mean, it's just a stopper, it is upcycled. So we always try to ask ourselves the question, can we do it differently for each and every component? And from time to time, the answer is no. When, for example, the wheels, we use traditional wheels for this watch because we don't want to make any compromise. This timepiece, it's not a concept watch. It's a watch you can wear it when you play golf. You can climb with it. You can dive with it, obviously. So we don't make any compromise, but we push the limit on every criteria, on any component that you will find in it.
Yeah, because if you look from outside, strictly like a dive watch, you will see it's unidirectional bezel, which is robust, and you have the crown, which is robust. You have
Yes.
the real feel of a diving watch,
Yes.
but without the weightness. And so it's impressive that you can have a real tool watch so light.
Yes.
Not just light, having so many backgrounds regarding the upcycle, the material that you use, and being really careful what you use and how you use.
Yes.
Because from my perspective, it's not just you take a material, you upcycle, and that's it. You really focus to find, as you said, to have a real product that can withstand the time.
Yes.
Be a door opener maybe for the entire industry to go and push to have not only the latest the raw material and use it, but think about it, all the material that just already is in the nature and we can use. And of course, I think you had a lot of issues putting everything together because being a road opener is not that easy. Did you have a moment or a material where you were like, oh no, we can never do this? Did you have any moment like this in the making of the Air?
Oh yes.
Maybe, huh?
Many. And I can tell you that, and I mentioned the fact that we worked with startups. You know, with startups, what is great with startups is that you can try things, you know, you can test and try things. They are creative, they take risks, they think out of the box. Of course, the drawback is that you may face, let's say, problems that you have not planned or anticipated. Very often they have solutions or ideas that are very good, but they have limited means in terms of laboratory testing and facilities, for example. So we try to do this journey with them, and from time to time, we had many issues, and that we have to solve. And but it also reinforcing the partnership, the trust. They know that with Ulysse Nardin, they can have a partner that is going to listen to them and listen to their expertise. We are a small company, but we are reactive and flexible, and they like to go quick. They don't understand, you know, the industries that are slow movers. So I believe it's what they like with us, and why we are doing well with their solutions. I have to say, to finish about what you mentioned, and honestly, I'm not exaggerating. We are a small independent manufacturer. Today, I have approximately 40 projects that are opened in the field of materials. And it's also the interesting but the frustrating part of it is that I already know that probably only 2 or 3 of them will come to life a 5 years perspective. You know what I mean? Because we don't want to make compromises on the quality. We don't want to make compromises on the design aspect because we are selling luxury products at the end. The price, the cost is also important to us, of course. The quality standards in our industry are quite high. So many of them, with many of these projects, I am frustrated because I am expecting results and you need many tries before being sure that it will work or not work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, being innovative in this direction, that means you also don't know how the, let's say, final substance that
Yes.
material that you use, how it will behave, for instance, in 10 years. So you also a little bit you take over your shoulders and carry this danger that might be something that you didn't discover, let's say, in time.
Yes.
But I'm still looking forward to see everything that you use. A final question for you. The watch, the Tiger Air, is 80% air.
Swiss-made air.
Swiss-made air, like we are similar percent in water.
It's my joke. I cut you.
Yeah. I completely forgot what was the question, but the watch is incredibly light, and I'm looking forward to see the next design that you will bring. Fabulous watch. Thank you.
Merci. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No problem, no problem.
I'm sorry.